Hi guys, it is October 23rd, 2019. I'm going to first go through our weather forecasting, and well, it has greatly changed. Our mainstream media meteorologists have no clue what is going on, and it's obvious when you read the forecasting or listen to these forecasters on mainstream media, they do not know what is happening. So when people listen to them about climate change, we've got, unfortunately, a whole lot of brain dead Americans, and they are not picking up on, well, they should be, you know, their brains should beg questions, and they should be, certainly the older generations, they should be like, what the hell is this? Okay, and I'm going to show you what I mean, and then I'm going to get into what's coming, climate change, power outages, a whole lot of stuff. And I'm also going to show you what's happening on radar. Okay, so, yeah, Austin area, Texas. Get ready for another big change in our weather. A polar cold front is on the way to central Texas. Currently timed to arrive Thursday night with showers and storms in tow. Ahead of it, there's some real warmth out there today. Our forecast calls for sunny skies and afternoon highs in the mid 80s. California, 90s. It's a very nice day here in South Carolina, upstate, Anderson. It's warm, but a little bit cooler. I think the temperature today is appropriate for this time of year. Last night, I don't know, 11, 12 a.m., it was like somebody flipped a switch and suddenly the temperature dropped quite a bit and it got cold. You know, earlier in the afternoon, it was quite warm. These wide ranges, the sudden drops or increases in temperatures are far more frequent than we've experienced. That also affects our health and the health of, you know, all life. So, ahead of it, there's some real warmth. Yeah, okay. Then it drops. But listen, during the first half of the day, our computer models show some hit or miss showers. Okay, your computer models show hit or miss, which means you could have showers or you won't have showers. Great computer models that they use. As we watch the front approach from the north, some strong to severe storms are expected to blossom, and they could bring more than heavy rain, lightning, hail, strong storm, wind gusts. They're all possible. We don't know if it's going to happen, but they're all possible. We have a marginal risk for severe weather during the afternoon commute and early evening hours. Marginal risk, huh? Okay. So it's possible, but then again, it might not happen. It's hit or miss. They can't even forecast in the morning for what's going to be happening later in the afternoon. Okay, that says something's very wrong with our meteorologists. Don't you think? While most of the heavy rain will taper into the night, a few showers could linger into Friday, and it's going to be chilly for much of the day, 50s. So from the 80s to the 50s, then down to the 40s, as northerly winds howl in around 20 to 30 miles per hour. This cold front looks similarly powerful to the polar blast we received a few Fridays ago. We'll kick off next week with what looks like a dry, cold front. Then a stronger front is possible later in the week. Okay, possible, potential, could, who knows, possible here. This is all over the country. I know what, in the fact that I live here in the United States, well, it's not the United States anymore, but you guys in your countries, are you also experiencing, hey, forecasting has gone, well, pretty crazy? A few severe storms possible today. Where's this? This is South Carolina, North Carolina. Oh, no, wait, South Carolina. All right. What are they saying? With temperatures warming into the 70s, increasing humidity, and some wind shear, a few of the storms will have the potential to turn severe. The new morning update has dropped the severe weather threat level down to a level 1 out of 5 for South Carolina. It won't be widespread. Some areas won't even see rainfall. Wow. So they can forecast the areas that won't see, oh, wait, they don't know the areas because they haven't listed them. Okay. But some areas won't even see rainfall. The other areas, they, well, might see severe weather, but we don't know. See, this is coming in the afternoon, and this is morning, and they even gave an update in the morning, and they still cannot forecast what the hell is going to happen. A few storms this afternoon will have the ability to produce 50 to 60 mile per hour winds, heavy rainfall, oh, and possibly even produce a quick spin-up tornado on the coast. Really? Okay. A possible tornado, 50 to 60 mile per hour winds, heavy rainfall, some areas no rain. Are you kidding me? And people read this and they're not like questioning. Once the front moves through later today, drier and cooler air will filter back into the forecast. Wow. Well, thank you, meteorologist. Cannot believe that you actually collect a paycheck. Okay, Alabama. Strong to severe storms possible for much of Alabama on Monday. Now, I'm reading articles that I've collected, so this is not happening now, but I'm just showing you. How is it that Americans aren't getting something is very wrong here? Strong to severe storms possible for much of Alabama. Oh, but it's been downgraded slightly. Like in South Carolina, it was downgraded from to a level 1. But here, downgraded slightly, the severe weather risk for Alabama. Now all or part of eastern Alabama has a marginal risk of severe storms. A marginal risk of severe storms. You don't even know if a severe storm is coming. Damaging winds, heavy rain, and a tornado or two. They're all possible. Wow. Could I get your paycheck to stand up there and say, anything is possible? There has been a change to the potential risk for Alabama. Slight risk? Okay, a slight risk in place for part of West Alabama has been changed to a marginal risk for most of the state. Slight, marginal. Okay. Slight to marginal? So I guess slight is slightly more so than marginal. Now much of the state, except for part of East Alabama, which has no risk, has a marginal risk, which means isolated severe storms will be possible. Possible. And it's because our computer models are offering up differing scenarios of how things could play out tomorrow, ranging from severe weather to hardly any storms at all. Okay, when you see our mainstream media, it's a friggin' joke, whether it's weather, politics, whatever they're talking. It's a joke. It's a farce. And so many people actually listen to this and they don't think that something is very off here. Do you get that they don't know what's going to be happening within a couple of hours? This is not how weather used to be forecasted not too long ago. Why don't they know? Because man is controlling it, or man using those frequencies and the technology that man has today to create weather, well, when you fool around with Mother Nature, when you fool around with the natural processes of Earth, you don't know, really. You cannot say definitively that only this is going to occur. They just don't know. It's so infuriating. And severe storms end in the east as a new system approaches. The new system. Now, this was yesterday, so where's the new system? Don't know, but this is the one that's ending. The new system? Don't know. Seems pretty dry in the United Soviet States of America. Look at these blasts of incredibly dangerous frequencies coming out of Mississippi and Louisiana, extending into Alabama and Arkansas. You want to see what was happening earlier? Let's see. This was at 11:13 a.m. Eastern Standard Time today. Okie dokie. Some unbelievably dangerous frequencies blasting away. And they're calling for a new front. Well, I will link below to everything, and I'll link below to this site. You can check it on a regular basis and see what is going to be created for you, because they do have these clouds down here that have been manufactured. Oh, and okay, well, it kind of looks like you got some precipitation going, but you know where, sorry, oh, I can't. I thought I could scroll up, but this was a capture. You got some precipitation happening, but not much is, well, yeah, I guess you got a little precipitation up here. I can even see the microwaves in this precipitation that are so far away. Okay, well, things are really getting unbelievably crazy. Crazy. Now, want to bring your attention to the fact that Germantown, Tennessee, their sirens fail to sound ahead of Monday storms. How often have we seen sirens, alarms, oops, sorry, didn't go off? Germantown officials are checking all tornado sirens Tuesday after 2 sirens did not sound on Monday with their tornado warning. Crews are now making needed repairs and conducting tests. Okay, just want to say you cannot rely, unfortunately, on anyone today. You cannot rely on government officials, especially, to keep you safe, to give you warnings. I mean, meteorologists, if the best that they can do is just say, hey, this is possible, and we're, you know, it's not a slight risk now, it's a marginal risk, and, well, it was for parts of Alabama, but now it's for all of Alabama, oh, except for East Alabama, and you could get a tornado possible, and then you don't even have your sirens working? No. So a lot of people are being caught off guard with our weather. Now, let's, yeah, the fire. All right. Fire danger again threatens power to 800,000 across California. Funny, it was 800,000. That was the number for the last PG&E outage. 800,000. So now the danger is again to 800,000. Second round of electricity blackouts could begin Wednesday. And it's possible that they could begin at noontime And right now, it's 11 a.m. in, well, 11:51. Is that right? Or is it maybe 10:51? God, I can't even do simple subtraction. But yeah, the PG&E site or other articles said that they'll assess at noon. They will assess it at noontime. So you may be once again without power. But here, in the southern part of the state, Southern California, Edison said it will be monitoring for more than 162,000 customers for a potential power shutoff beginning Thursday. And you've got your temperatures in the 90s in California, highly unusual. But when man can control the temperature, control weather, well, this is what we live now. Unbelievable. A power customer can be a single residence or a large business. Okay, so rolling blackouts. Did you read articles in your adult life about the rolling blackouts in those third world countries? That's where we are. That's what we're living.
We're both graduating from the Electrical and Computer Engineering Department at George Mason University this coming May.
Okay.
We're just going to test out our device that we use that uses sound frequencies to extinguish flames.
I see this device being applied to a lot of things. First off, I think in the kitchen, it could be on top of a stovetop. But eventually, I'd like to see this applied to maybe swarm robotics, where it'd be attached to a drone, and that would be applied to forest fires or even building fires, where you wouldn't want to sacrifice human life.
Professor Brian Mark really stepped in to help us.
He just gave us a lot of support.
I think as a whole, engineering is really just finding solutions finding simple solutions to complicated problems.
Okay, what was that? That was pump up the bass to douse a blaze. Sound frequencies used to extinguish fires.
Device being applied to a lot of things. First off, I think in the kitchen, it could be on top of a stovetop. But eventually, I'd like to see this applied to maybe swarm robotics, where it'd be attached to a drone, and that would be applied to forest fires or even building fires.
Yes.
Where you wouldn't want.
Right. Yes. They have this technology. They have a lot of technology to put out fires. If they can make rain, why don't they just make rain when those wildfires are out of control and they go on and go on and go on? Now, easy enough to find all of the information that cloud seeding to make rain has been going on for a very, very long time. In fact, in the early 1900s, San Diego had a massive flood due to an experiment with making rain. Whoops, they made way too much rain. So, why aren't they using any of these tools that they have to extinguish the fires? Because they want the fires to continue, because they are destroying Americans, destroying this country, and bringing in a new world order. For all of those who continue to roll their eyes, it's way too late for you to be still behaving in that manner. It's time to grow up and face the music. Mayor releases plan to accelerate carbon emissions goal. Investing in energy-saving improvements to city-owned buildings and developing new guidelines for major building projects are among the ways Boston will become carbon neutral by 2050. It does not matter that Trump got us out of the Paris Agreement, because he didn't. Our mayors and governors are implementing the provisions in that agreement, it doesn't matter because it's still taking place. Cities target gas heaters, stoves, and new front of climate fight. You have a gas stove? Well, embrace it. Hug it. Don't take it for granted. Because one day, yes, those Nazi inspectors will come. And if you still have that gas stove, you'll have to get rid of it. A gas stove. Now, where I live in South Carolina, pretty much all they have is electric. But, yeah, I can't cook on electric. It's gas that, the flame that you actually want. If you are into cooking, which I was, these electric stoves, I don't, look, you can't control the heat. And controlling the heat is necessary, for making a good dish. All right. Well, they're getting rid of them. Now, California cities of Berkeley and San Jose adopted bans preventing new buildings from hooking into their natural gas distribution systems, and now communities across the country, including Seattle, Minneapolis, Cambridge, Mass., are considering similar bans. Carol Bernard, Program Director for Sustainability at the National League of Cities, connected to the United Nations, which represents 19,000 cities and towns across the country, said worsening storms and flooding across many regions of the country are driving cities to promote the use of electric-powered appliances such as furnaces and stoves over gas models. All electric buildings are proving to be safer and healthier and more affordable. See, this is what happens when you believe lies. This is what happens when you have liars that are never held to account. It's not a good thing. And yes, we Americans have been doing that forever. Because the liars have an agenda. And when they have an agenda, if they have to lie to get that agenda done, implemented, well, why wouldn't they be telling the truth? Because that agenda, it doesn't work for most people. Because it's not a good agenda. Because it's not going to benefit most people. So they have to lie. There's going to be a lot of people who are going to be very upset about this. Gas stoves, that a lot of people who just are not into cooking and have the electric and they think, oh, no big deal. Oh, it's a big deal. It really is. But, gas is less expensive than electricity. So, will cities and towns help you out to convert to electric from gas? Probably not. You'll have to foot the bill. Organic farming is actually worse for climate change. Wow, okay. Organic farming is worse for climate change. MIT. Yeah. These are the heavyweights. These are the experts. And you got to believe what they say. Organic practices can reduce climate pollution produced directly from farming, which would be fantastic if they didn't also require more land to produce the same amount of food. Clearing additional grasslands or forests to grow enough food to make up for that difference would release far more greenhouse gas than the practices initially reduce Oh my God. Okay, well, get rid of organic farming, which is pretty much, well, it's gone anyway. USDA, that organic label, means nothing. Nothing. Because there have been investigations. It's not organic. And many organic farms, the producers, use an awful lot of pesticides. Oh, and Roundup. Oh, how can that be organic? GMOs have pretty much taken over our food supply. So the organic that you can count on is what you grow in your backyard, what you grow. But then it's not really organic because you've got all of those toxic chemicals and heavy metals being sprayed in the atmosphere, and it comes down on your food. So we have been taken over. Now, listen to this. And this is happening in so many communities, so check it out for your community, but I do want to thank all of my subscribers for sending along some of this information. Kalamazoo. Climate emergency. And Kalamazoo is in Michigan.
It was a packed house at City Hall in Kalamazoo tonight after hearing from a long line of citizens. Commissioners declared a climate emergency. News 8's Kyle Mitchell was there. He's live to explain tonight what activists hope comes out of this declaration. Kyle.
Brian, it was standing room only as commissioners unanimously approved that resolution tonight. Now, the resolution calls for action to limit global climate change to 1.5 degrees Celsius to reduce the most severe impacts. The Environmental Concerns Committee drafted the declaration and brought it to the commission. More than 1,000 local governments around the world have passed these declarations in 18 countries. The resolution states the impact of climate change can be seen in Kalamazoo and around the world. Every person who spoke in public comment on the resolution supported the declaration.
A formal declaration of climate emergency will provide the necessary leadership to address the threat that our entire community faces, particularly to those citizens who may not yet have any idea of the threat we face, or may find themselves vulnerable and impacted, but perhaps unable to participate or take individual action. Those citizens should expect us, those in this room who do know what's going on and can act, to tell the truth about the emergency we face and respond to this crisis.
Okay, so what's the problem here? Well, you have an awful lot of people who won't ever admit that they could be wrong, so they refuse to look at all of the evidence that outweighs that so-called evidence that is published by the IPCC, the United Nations. You have an awful lot of people who rely on paychecks, and climate change has become a business. You have an awful lot of people working for the United Nations, so they sure as hell are not going to look into the evidence. And I one channel, Never Lose Truth, have a playlist, Climate Change, Global Warming, Fraud. A lot of evidence that this climate change, global warming, hysteria is a lie. A lie. But because we can't get through to these people who refuse, who, you have a closed mind, you ain't going to get through to it. But they are bringing about a world that we all have to suffer, and that should piss everybody off. Senators launch bipartisan climate change initiative. Indiana Senator Mike Braun, a Republican, and Delaware Senator Coons, a Democrat, are introducing the first ever bipartisan Senate Climate Solutions Caucus. It's going through. It doesn't matter that Trump said, hey, get out of the, we're not going to sign on to that Paris agreement. It doesn't matter what someone says. It matters what is happening, what's going on. Climate change will cost us even more than we think. Oh my God. It's going to be even more expensive. And who's going to be paying? You, me, everyone. You know, this article. Yeah, economists greatly underestimate the price tag on harsher weather and higher seas. Why is that? Why? Oh, well, my God. Why is that? They got it wrong again? Oh my God. What a surprise. One reason, since climate scientists have been underestimating the rate of climate change and the severity of its effects, then economists will necessarily underestimate their costs. Yeah. Okie dokie. So you've been underestimating the rate of climate change, while there's so much evidence that says your estimates, and this is all when mainstream media is reporting about climate change, they are getting that information from the United Nations IPCC, Intergovernmental Panel, not Interscientific Panel, Intergovernmental Panel for Climate Change. All right, I really don't know what to say anymore. I mean, this whole article, of course, you know, increased heat equals decreased food production, and climate change will cause cascading effects and rapid loss of Greenland and the Antarctic, leads to sea level. They're just regurgitating, reiterating all of the lies. But it's worse now. It's worse. Yeah, the ice melting. Well, sea level rise, storm surges, contaminated water, and it'll cause coastal cities to be wiped out, and it'll cause turmoil and chaos and social political disruptions, and we cannot wait any longer. We cannot wait. We can't wait. We've got to do something now. And they're all lying. They're all friggin' lying. So I'd like to know where that front is coming from. But it can be created. Soon, fast, whatever they want to do. I can't stand it, guys. I can't stand it. All right. Have a good day. Oh my God, I'm stopping at 33. Oh well, I guess I'm a Freemason.